Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things out.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The Raiders at 9-2 to start play. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left. This defense for the Chiefs, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is, because anytime you can tell your offense, just get us a couple of touchdowns, we got this thing locked down, that's when you know you're playing well.
And he's going to come up a few yards short, brought down at the 45. Here we go. It's Pickett on 4th down. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have a Raiders first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. So this offense able to convert on 4th. And now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. These two teams, you might recall, met back in mid-season, Week 8 to be exact. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Counter play with Jacobs. Stopped short of the 25. The second effort couldn't free him. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings him to third down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there and gives him a new set of downs.
Well, that's how you use your safety valve, CD. He didn't appear to be the intended target, but they got it to him, and he was able to get just enough to pick up the first.
And what a great example of where we are right now in the NFL, because if you're a running back, you're not just going to carry it. You got to catch it out of the backfield as well. Those combo guys, they're the ones everyone wants on their team.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett.
And that's complete to Adams. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
Going for it on 4th down. Here's Pickett. He's got Renfro on the out route. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's good. Las Vegas. 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
No score after 1 on EA Sports.
No score.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal.
Here's Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
No return here for Patterson, so they'll begin things at the 25-yard line.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, they wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Off play action, Pickett.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's
So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
a first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and it may be a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Play action, it's Mahomes. This is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Patterson.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Kadarius Toney with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point by Butker is on target, and we are tied at 7.
The game at 7. Harrison Butker to kick off 14 to 6.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much. Do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it out in order to try and get the upset win.
It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Pickett's throw complete here to Waller. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Working with a 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Pickett. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Pickett now from the gun here. And that will be incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
On first down, Mahomes. And a catch made by Hopkins. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. A good gain on first has them set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. On second and inches, Mahomes. He's going to air one out. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Now, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys.
Got a man. It's Darren Waller. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get him with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This from 42 yards out. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It'll be the Chiefs football to begin quarter number 3, and they trail here as we are back underway now on EA Sports. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And down he goes. Brought down the Raiders sack. Chandler Jones from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for their offensive guys.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's fourth down. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth.
Took a heck of a chance there, didn't he? Result-based business, we know that. That result was positive for him. But, oh my goodness, how close was that to being negative?
Well, because you're essentially in the shadow of your own end zone there to go for. I get it if it's late fourth quarter. Well, it paid off. I guess the end justifies the means, right?
It certainly does. Had to be more than a gut feeling there. Had to be just total confidence they would pick it up.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes.
The pass complete on the crossing route. This is Tony with it.
And some room to work. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays. And there's an example of that right there.
First and 10, it's Patterson.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they showed passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Mahomes. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Max Crosby has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
The passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Hey, 43, 15.
He'll look to throw. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Butker's kick here is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And their three-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a three-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. From the gun, here's Pickett.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They try to throw on
To come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
Hey, 43, 15.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And the Raiders have got him.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's the Chiefs punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken around the 12. And he's out right at the 25.
That one a 55-yard punt, 13 on the return.
And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was a good illustration of setting the edge as a defensive end, being able to make sure that you stay on your feet no matter what type of block, and you're not going to get pushed inside. Stayed home, skated to the outside, and made the play.
On 2nd and 11 now.
Pickett.
And his throw here is incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Working out of the gun, it's Pickett.
He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Now Pickett.
And he slipped.
Continuing to be the defenses because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion force there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
Pickett back to throw.
That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 42. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And that's about the easiest decline call you'll ever have right there.
Well, it leads me to one of my pet peeves, and maybe peeves is too strong of a word, but if you're going to jump off sides, finish the play. Make sure the play ends. Don't jump off sides and stop, because you see the net result here. If you go ahead and finish the play, you don't give up that type of yardage.
Jacobs going to try the middle.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Well, this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here.
Here's Pickett.
He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That catch, by the way, number 505 of his career, and that ties him with a couple of other tight ends for the past, Frank Wycheck and Dallas Clark.
And those guys were excellent players, but how about what we're seeing right now? 505 and rising. What a nice career he's put together.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead. So how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They face a 2nd down, but they are in field goal range.
Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Partner, you got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
Looking to throw here. Pickett.
That's caught by Waller out left side. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining.
They go with Jacobs. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Raiders have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Mahomes.
He's going to let it fly.
On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders have just about sewn up this football game.
He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
Nick Bolton there on the tackle.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Once again, it's Jacobs.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
CD for the losing side. They had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they had to suffer the L here.
Certainly felt like that takeaway. Once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.
So for Las Vegas,
they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, any slim hopes they had at a playoff berth gone now as they drop to 4-9. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time.